Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, it's out there. Every accusation is a confession, and it's out there. Quote from Donald Trump at his birthday party last night, the day before the inauguration. I record this at 11 a.m. Pacific time, Monday, January 20th. Happy Martin Luther King's Day. Oh, the irony. Quote from Donald Trump. He being Elon Musk, journeyed to Pennsylvania, where he spent a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania. And he's a popular guy. He was very effective. And he knows those computers better than anybody. All those computers. Those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide. So it was pretty good, pretty good. So thank you, Elon. Got the wrong glasses on. Sorry. You probably have no idea who I am. Let me try this. There. So much better. It's all about optics. So, all summer long, commenting how Kamala Harris came in and suddenly, as grumpy as it was that Biden was out of there, you could see the momentum Kamala Harris built. And as we got closer to the election, myself and both my brother and myself were saying, Trump's going to declare victory. He's going to say he won the election. And he's going to cheat like he did before. The thing that we missed, certainly the thing I missed, was that I assumed that Kamala Harris would be shown to have had, won the popular vote and won the Electoral College, and Donald Trump was going to basically pull a 2020 over again, where he said everything was rigged and stolen from him. But the results would indicate otherwise. I didn't predict that the cheating would be so severe that he would win the Electoral College and the popular vote. Basically, again, they upped it to 11. Nor did I predict that we would actually believe that he won. And now when I say believe, I don't mean like we don't suspect or know that he cheated. It's just that when you saw the results, it's like, oh my God, he won the Electoral College and he even won the popular vote. I didn't see that. So it leads like, oh my God, it's 2016 all over again. You're believing that, oh my God, he actually won this. I don't know how. Now, in your heart of hearts, he didn't. He cheated. But it's just, you didn't realize the magnitude of the cheating that they would go to force him in there. And we saw the clues leading up to it that he was going to cheat. He was talking about, he had that live stream on Twitter that was like an hour and a half late because it was crashing because Twitter's a pile of garbage these days, courtesy of Elon. And he was saying how Venezuela had low crime rates compared to the U.S. and maybe he and Elon, if they lost the election, they should go to Venezuela. It's like, why are you dragging Elon with you? We know you're a felon 5 times a day. Why would you drag Elon? Now we know why he would drag Elon with him. Michelle sent me another clip where Elon Musk was being interviewed, and he says basically, if Trump isn't elected, I'm effed. Well, you could just say, oh, because I'm such a big Trump supporter, the Democrats will come after me. No, he's effed because they're going to know exactly what happened and Elon's involvement in it. I'm outraged. I feel justified, for those folks that took me to task saying, you guys said Kamala was going to win and she didn't, you were wrong. We really weren't. We weren't wrong. She did win. They just cheated. They cheated at a magnitude that couldn't even wrap my mind around. And then there was the hope that, well, because the Biden administration's got to know they cheated, there's data out there, they'll be doing stuff about it. And you had to keep up hope that justice was going to win the good guys, so to speak. We'll put that in air quotes, the good guys, because, good and evil just depends on what side of the fence you're on. Now, there is objective goodness and there's objective evilness, if you will. But it's never black and white. It's always shades of gray, right? It just seems like right now the Democrats, their white hats, the gray on their white hats is much more on the white tint than the gray on the hats of the Republicans, who are on the darker tint. They're more of the storm gray versus mist versus like Mr. Cloud gray for the Democrats, that type of thing. So on one hand, hearing Trump say that last night, that was like, okay, he finally admitted it. It's out there for everybody. So you feel justified in knowing that you were right and this was stolen. But when the rubber hits the road, at least as of 11 o'clock in the morning on Pacific time, what the hell difference does it make? He's still in the government. We're still going to have to deal with this. His supporters don't care. They never care. It's never about Trump. It's never about the truth or honesty or who really won. It's just about punching down. Their lives are miserable and punching down. And now we get to walk barefoot on Legos with them, because they're so angry at the world that they just want everybody to suffer and be miserable with them. So we all get to be miserable together. And again, they won't care. Matter of fact, they will probably look at Donald Trump saying that we cheated and say, yeah, that's right, because you guys are a bunch of libs, and that's just what needs to happen. No, they won't rationalize anything this guy does. My video this morning hasn't really done anything. Watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Looking at the bird flu. And, you can believe if you want to or not. That's fine. I don't care either way. Some folks have suggested COVID was manifested by the collective to undo Trump. Bird flu might be the very same thing. Trump couldn't handle COVID. He's not going to be able to handle bird flu. Regardless, if that happens or not, it looks like, as of, again, 11 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, that we're stuck with this dude. Thanks. I got some choice words for the guy upstairs. And it begins with a middle finger and ends with the middle finger. And there's a giant FU in the middle of it. Let's look at the energy. I want to look at the energy around the Trump comment made at his birthday party last night about Elon helping basically mess around with the vote tabulating computers. Remember in 2020 how he said the votes were flipped? Dead people were voting, the votes were flipped, Every accusation's a confession. I saw one fellow who did a comparison of Clark County in 2020 versus 2024, and you could see where the vote flipping happened in 2020. After about 600 votes, the algorithm started forcing more votes to the red candidate, and in 2024, they started about 400 votes. So, and it was a 60-40 split, basically. So 200 after the however many votes the thing calculates after that, after 400 votes, another 200 votes went to Trump, which at a 60-40 split is 120 votes for Trump and 80 votes for Harris, regardless of what the actual voting was. So that's how you force, especially as more people vote, it starts forcing the votes towards Trump. Let's look at the energy around Trump basically confessing to what his crime was. Entertainment purposes only. Come on down. I was shuffling my cards. The lies, the heartbreak, the betrayal. It's all out there for us to see. How can you not feel betrayed? Now, here's the thing. Trump supporters, the wrap yourself in the American flag patriots, they should be upset beyond all belief. Can you imagine in any other election not involving Trump, any candidate saying what they did? The outrage would be off the charts. They make exceptions for the cult leader. But they should be upset. Trump should not needed to have cheated, because he's the most popular guy ever, best president ever. He should have won in a landslide. He didn't. So, in some ways they'll make up the excuse, well, they stole it from him in 2020, so we had to steal it back in 2024. You watch, that's going to be, once the mantra, for those who accept that the election was stolen, That's their mantra. But it's heartbreak betrayal. The Republican Party, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, stole an election, and they just admitted to it. Crossed with the Five of Pentacles. Your votes didn't matter. It didn't matter that you braved the cold or whatever to go out and vote. They're going to tell you what to do because they're your betters. Stealing a line from Bo, the fifth column / Belle of the Ranch. And because of that betrayal, there's now going to be economic suffering. There's going to be a lot of people suffering for this. And underneath it all is judgment. I don't know how there isn't. I mean, maybe there will be court challenges. I don't know how any of this is going to work. But it's out there. The betrayal has now been blasted for everybody to hear, everybody to see. If you choose to ignore it, that's a choice. The rest of us, validation. In the past, you got the nine of Wands. This literally is Trump waiting, desperately trying to get to January 20th to be inaugurated. And he only made it to January 19th before he totally spilled the beans on everything. One of the comments on the video was like, did you see how nervous Musk looked when he said that? I didn't see a pan over to Musk, but yeah, you can imagine Musk would be nervous as hell because Trump basically gave the game away. You know, Trump's 78 years old and not in great health. He'll be dead in a couple years. Musk, on the other hand, he's going to probably be around another 30, 40 years at least. He's got time to pay for his crimes. Current situation is the magician. Yep, this is how we did it. Trump's like, yep, the election was an illusion. We manipulated it. It was getting to the election time. You know, is this plan going to work? Hopefully we don't get caught. No, they didn't get caught. They manifested an election win out of something that should have been an election loss. This should be a huge disappointment to all voters in the United States. All people in the United States should be hugely disappointed by this. 40% are going to be thrilled to death. 60% are heartbroken. That's the overarching energy. 60-40. I mean, even if you're a libertarian and you hear that should... And libertarians and Republicans line up. All right? Let's be real. Libertarians are just extreme Republicans. But libertarians are not Donald Trump cult followers, generally speaking. Their political ambitions align, but I would imagine a majority of the libertarians are going to be really upset by this. Because they're also the type that are going to say, oh, so how many times have our votes been, taken over and switched to Donald Trump? Because they're all about, they don't care if they're going to lose. They really don't care. Because they're up here as far as idealism. They have an idealism for the government, and they're going to support that ideal, even if it's not popular, even if they really don't think it's going to get there. They think eventually people are going to come to their way of thinking. In other words, they don't need to cheat because they feel like they've got the idealistic high ground that people will eventually congregate to as things get worse and worse. And to know that their votes might have been stolen too is going to piss them off. I can hope, right? Maybe not. Maybe they think it's the greatest thing ever. But I don't think so. The lesson to be learned. The devil's going to cheat. He's going to cheat. It doesn't matter. This is Trump to a T. The guy cheats at golf. Now, for those who say, oh, golf doesn't matter. Golf's a game of honor. It's your word. People can't keep track of everything you do, how many swings you take, kicking the ball in the fairway. He cheats at golf. He cheats at everything. No integrity. And this is just part and parcel for Donald Trump, and the whole world gets to take a ride with him for it. Outcome is the Two of Wands. What's next? What are you going to do about it? Now that you know it's been out there, what are you going to do about it? I have no idea. Let's see. Let's actually throw some clarifiers before I throw the cards away here. What's the clarifiers? What are you going to do? What comes next? Is this overseas? How do you go away from the turmoil on it to make America great again? And sorry for using their terminology here, but it's, the Republicans are just going to move on. They're not going to care. They've won. I don't know how the U.S. bounces back from this. I really don't. And I don't mean to put that to to scare you or anything along those lines. But right now, the Democrats don't control any of the levers of power in the United States government. None. We don't control the House. We don't control the Senate. We don't control the presidency or anything in the executive branch, which means we don't control the Department of Justice. We certainly don't have a majority on the Supreme Court. We've got nothing in the federal government. We've got states. We've got states and state Supreme Courts and appeals courts. I would expect that I think it's the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in I think that's the California one. I think that one's going to get it's going to be leg day every day in that appeals court. Hang on for a second, let me confirm that. Google's your friend. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. I was right. So yeah, expect the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to just get hammered with stuff. Anything that the federal government does that could impact California, so that California is a party to this, they can appeal. It's going to get overtime. All right. Real high level, Spirit, what's next? Is anything going to happen? I shouldn't make it so broad because they could do a bunch of quiet changes in the background that we will never see. Is there going to be any visible action taken with regards to Trump's confession? I'll put that in air quotes, confession about Elon and computers and basically changing votes. For Carter. It's a burden, tough going. Will anything be done? It's going to be tough to do anything, as explained before. Hopes, wishes, dreams filled, smug merchant. Way of looking at things. Biden. Yeah, it's going to be tough because the oligarchs are going to fight it, and the oligarchs control the media, so they control the media on that one. It's going to be difficult to get anything done because the court of public opinion is controlled by oligarchs who are sitting there quite happily with it. In this case, the King of Cups, to me, the only thing that this means is grassroots. Now, I would not think of grassroots. Dear God. That's Spirit showing me the light. I don't think the King of Cups would normally mean grassroots. I would think the Page of Cups would mean something like that. But this is almost like it's going to require a grassroots movement to build up from the bottom up, to push the top basically out of the way. Almost like a volcano erupting lava. It comes from the very base of the volcano and erupts up and blows the top off. It's like the tower all over again. I'm so sorry. I wanted to think, and maybe something was still going on with Biden folks. Maybe they are fixing things behind the scenes. But that's not what we wanted, was it? We wanted our votes to matter. We wanted our victory. Kamala Harris won this election. And she won it in a landslide. We should have been the one dancing in the streets doing leprechaun kicks in November. Because our candidate won, and won by a massive amount. It was a mandate. We'd have won all the houses in Congress. And, she'd be working for a better America. And now, we're taking the left turn in a leaky boat. Basically captained by Captain Ahab and Queequeg, the bloated white Tesla CEO, manning us and taking us right over the falls because, well, they have parachutes and they can jump off, but the rest of us were expendable. So unnecessary. All because they want a new boat. All because they want a new boat. They think this boat's crap. They want something much better, and they're willing to sink the whole crew so that they can crash the boat and say, "Oh, look at that! That boat's all broken. Now we need a brand shiny new one, gold-plated." I'm not good for analogies right now, but maybe that one's okay. I would say keep the faith, but I don't even know what that means anymore. Sorry, everyone. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. Thank you for supporting my channel. I do appreciate it. We'll get through this because, frankly, we don't have a choice. Take care. I'll catch you on the next video.